Okay, hello students. So today we will be discussing about the sole of foot. Now we had done that the muscles of the posterior compartment of leg, that is tibialis posterior, flexor digitorum longus, then the posterior tibial vessels and tibial nerve and the flexor hallucis longus, they were passing deep to the flexor retinaculum. From there they are going to enter the sole of foot. Now, first of all, we remove the skin of sole of foot. We all know that it is very thick skin, devoid of any hair, devoid of any sebaceous glands, but very rich in sweat glands. When we remove the skin, we see that it is covering a very thick layer of fat in the superficial fascia. See, this fat also plus these thick layers of fat, and it is bound in very tight packets, and there are septa, fibrous septa binding these packets together. So this thick layer of fat helps in supporting the body weight. This pad of fat is especially thick over the posterior aspect of calcaneum and over the head of the first metatarsal, where most of your body weight is being borne by the foot. Right? Then we place these. Okay, so the first thing after removing the skin and the superficial fascia that we encounter is the plantar aponeurosis. Right, plantar aponeurosis is considered as a continuation of plantaris muscle. In lower animals and ungulates, the it is continuous with the this plantaris is continuous with the plantar aponeurosis. In humans, it is separated, but it is considered as a remnant of the plantaris muscle. Now it is again triangular in shape, just like in the palm of hand, with an apex which is attached to chiefly to the medial tubercle of the inferior surface of calcaneum, and the base is widened and the base splits into five bands. Those five bands are not visible. One of that bands going to the great toe is visible, right? Each band is meant for each of the toes, and near the head of metatarsal each band divides into a superficial slip and a deep slip. The superficial slip inserts into the dermis of the skin and blends with the superficial metatarsal ligament, whereas the deep slip, it further divides into two slips, one medial, one lateral, and they both engulf the fibrous flexor sheath of the long flexor tendons, merge with it, and merge also with the proximal part of base of the proximal phalanx. Right. So this acts as a tie beam for the longitudinal arches of the foot that you will be studying when you study the arches of foot. Right. So then we reflect the plantar aponeurosis. Then we encounter the muscles of the foot. Now, the muscles of foot, as you have already been taught in the lecture, they are present in four layers. So we will go one by one. The most superficial layer consists of three muscles. One is the abductor of the big toe, one is the abductor of the little toe, and one is the short flexor of the lateral four toes. We already know the long flexor was flexor digitorum longus because it was coming from the leg. Its length was very long. This is the short flexor of the digits, hence called as flexor digitorum brevis. So, this is the abductor hallucis, this is the abductor digiti minimi, and this is the flexor digitorum brevis. Right? I'm not going into the details of origin and insertion, but you can see that the abductor hallucis is coming from some part of plantar aponeurosis, from the medial calcaneal tubercle. It also comes from the distal aspect of the flexor retinaculum, right? And then its tendon goes distally and inserts on the lateral aspect of this proximal phalanx of the uh, big toe. Similarly, the abductor digiti minimi takes origin from the both the medial and the lateral calcaneal tubercles, and from the adjoining part of plantar aponeurosis as well, and something called as the lateral intermuscular septum. जो plantar aponeurosis है, actually it is divided into the part that I have shown you, that is called as the central part. It has comparatively thin parts also, which cover the medially the abductor hallucis and laterally the abductor digiti minimi. Those are called as the medial and lateral parts. From the junction of the central and medial part, a septum goes superiorly, that is the medial intermuscular septum. Similarly, from the junction of central and the lateral parts, a lateral intermuscular septum goes superiorly. That divides the muscles of the sole of foot into a medial, intermediate and lateral compartments also. Okay, so the abductor digiti minimi is taking origin from medial and lateral calcaneal tubercles, plantar aponeurosis, lateral intermuscular septum as well. Right. Okay. Then you can see some nerves emerging from deep to the flexor digitorum brevis. Now, this is the neurovascular bundle that intervenes between the muscles of first layer, which are visible here, and the muscles of second layer, which will be visible when I reflect down this flexor digitorum brevis and the abductor hallucis. Right. Now this is one of the muscles of second layer called as flexor digitorum accessorius or quadratus planti. So ये second layer का muscle है. तो सेकेंड लेयर के मसल और फर्स्ट लेयर के मसल के बीच में इंटरवीनिंग आर दीज न्यूरोवास्कुलर स्ट्रक्चर्स ऑफ द सोल ऑफ फुट. What are these structures? Now we will see again. Coming back to the structures passing deep to the flexor retinaculum, what were they? If I reflect, now I have cut the flexor retinaculum, we can see there is the tendon of tibialis posterior, there is the tendon of flexor digitorum longus, then there is the tibial nerve, there is the posterior tibial artery, and then deep posterior most is the tendon of flexor hallucis longus. Right. Now, if I reflect the abductor also, medially abductor hallucis, and let me just attach an artery forceps. This is a good way to keep this thing reflected now. Right. Okay. So here you can see now this is the posterior tibial artery. Deep to the flexor retinaculum, the posterior tibial artery divides into medial and lateral plantar arteries. Same goes for tibial nerve. It divides into medial and lateral plantar nerves. Right. Now, the medial plantar artery is very small. I've actually lost it. This was the one giving origin to medial plantar artery. The lateral plantar artery is the larger one. Right. We will talk about these the further details later on. Then similarly, we see that this is the lateral plantar nerve and this one is the medial plantar nerve. In this particular cadaver, the tibial nerve had actually divided into medial and lateral plantar nerves even above the level of flexor retinaculum. In any case, when we dissect the sole, we will see that from the lower margin of flexor retinaculum, there will be emerging the medial plantar nerve and the lateral plantar nerve. Okay. So now coming back to the muscles of first layer, that was the abductor hallucis, the flexor digitorum brevis, which I have reflected downwards, and there was abductor digiti minimi, which I have not cut and it is intact. The medial two muscles, that is abductor hallucis and flexor digitorum brevis, are supplied by the main trunk of the medial plantar nerve. Here you can see this is the main trunk of the medial plantar nerve. It is supplying its branch to the abductor hallucis in this area. When I pull the nerve, you will see the branch, that one going to the abductor hallucis, and you can see the branch going to the flexor digitorum brevis as well. Whereas the lateral plantar nerve is going to supply a branch to abductor digiti minimi. This branch has actually risen quite high, deep to the flexor retinaculum. If I can, this is the nerve to the flexor digiti minimi. If I look at this thing, here it is arising from the lateral plantar nerve. So this is the first branch of lateral plantar nerve, the from the main trunk of lateral plantar nerve, the nerve to abductor digiti minimi, and then the lateral plantar nerve from its trunk, it supplies sorry, this is the lateral plantar artery actually. This is the lateral plantar nerve. From here you can see the lateral plantar nerve is giving this branch. This branch is entering into this muscle. This is the muscle, one of the muscles of second layer of sole. I will be coming to that. Right. So between the muscles of first layer of sole and the second layer of sole, we see this neurovascular bundle consisting of medial and lateral plantar. This is the lateral plantar nerve and the lateral plantar artery, and we have the medial plantar nerve and the medial plantar artery I have lost, and their accompanying veins, obviously. Right, and then there are further branches of these nerves. We will talk about that shortly. Okay, then coming to the second layer of sole. अब second layer में one we have already done. This was the flexor digitorum accessorius, somewhat a triangular muscle, and then there are the two long flexors of the toes which were coming from the leg, the flexor uh, digitorum longus and flexor hallucis longus, right? Now we had done that flexor digitorum longus jo tha, that had crossed the tendon of tibialis posterior in the lower part of leg. सबसे medial most muscle जो था tibia से arise करता, that was the flexor digitorum longus. It had crossed the tibialis posterior, so that deep to flexor retinaculum we had the first tendon was tibialis posterior, then digitorum longus, and then flexor hallucis longus. Now still digitorum longus still needs to cross the flexor hallucis longus key tendon, because flexor hallucis longus, though it is coming from the lateral bone of leg, fibula se aa raha hai, it has to reach the medial toe, the medial most, the great toe, whereas the flexor digitorum longus has to give these four tendons to the lateral four toes. Where is this crossing happening? Now if I reflect this thing, you can now see the tendon of flexor digitorum longus, and if I reflect this thing laterally, below that you will be able to see this is the tendon of flexor hallucis longus, ye wali, this one, right? So now here in the sole of foot, flexor digitorum longus is again crossing another tendon, this time the flexor hallucis longus, again crossing on the superficial aspect. Leg में tibialis posterior को superficially cross किया from medial to lateral side, और sole of foot में flexor tibialis posterior को cross किया and flexor hallucis longus को cross किया in the sole of foot from lateral to medial side, again on the superficial aspect. ठीक है. सो विच आर द मसल्स इन सेकेंड लेयर? अभी तक हमने कौन से किए? फ्लेक्सर हैलोसिस लॉन्गस, फ्लेक्सर डिजिटोरम लॉन्गस. दीज आर द extrinsic muscles because they are taking origin not within the sole but somewhere outside the sole, that is in the leg. And there are intrinsic muscles in the second layer. One of them is this quadratus plantae or flexor digitorum accessorius, and others are the four lumbrical muscles. Now if I can show you the tendon of, okay, see, one of the muscles that you will be able to see are the lumbrical muscles. They take origin from the tendons of flexor digitorum longus, just like in the hand, right? So we have two kinds of intrinsic muscles in second layer, flexor digitorum accessorius and the four lumbricals, and two extrinsic muscles, which is flexor digitorum longus and flexor hallucis longus. Now what is the nerve supply? Now obviously we know that flexor digitorum longus and hallucis longus have already received their nerve supply in the leg from the tibial nerve, but flexor digitorum accessorius receives its nerve supply from which nerve? From the lateral plantar nerve. Here you can see it is receiving its nerve supply from the main trunk of the lateral plantar nerve. Whereas lumbricals, I will show you the nerve supply of the first lumbrical. Now, where is the first lumbrical? This one is the first lumbrical. taking origin from the medial aspect of the tendon of flexor digitorum longus for the second toe. Right. Now coming into detail of the medial plantar nerve. The medial plantar nerve is going to give, first of all, it gives cutaneous nerve supply to the overlying skin of sole. Then it divides into four cutaneous branches. One, the medial most one, is this one. This supplies the skin on the medial aspect of the grade 2, right? But this one gives a nerve supply. You can see this twig going to one of the muscles of the third layer, which is the short flexor of the thumb or flexor hallucis brevis. So the medial most cutaneous branch of medial plantar nerve also gives a motor branch to the medial most muscle of third layer, that is flexor hallucis brevis. यहाँ पे है, अभी I have not cleaned. We will go into details of third layer on Monday. Right. So this was the first branch of medial plantar nerve. Then it gives three common digital plantar nerves. Right. One is this one. Then second is this one, and so second is this one, and third is this one. And they are going to eventually give the proper plantar digital nerves for the adjoining sides of skin of toes in the first interdigital space, that is the great toe and the second toe. जो second common digital है, it will give the proper digital branches for the lateral aspect of second toe, medial aspect of third toe. जो next वाली है, the last, the lateral most one, that is going to give proper digital branches for lateral aspect of the third toe, medial aspect of the fourth toe. So just like median nerve in the hand, this is going to supply the medial 3.5 toes up to here, right? What is additional nerve supply of this medial most common plantar digital nerve? You can see that a very small twig is going from it into the first lumbrical. ठीक है. Medial plantar nerve somehow resembles the median nerve of hand, and the lateral plantar nerve supply resembles the ulnar nerve in hand. We will see why. One is by the cutaneous nerve supply. The medial plantar nerve supplies the medial 3.5 toes, whereas lateral plantar nerve, we will see, supplies the lateral 1.5 toes. Okay. Then coming to flexor digitorum brevis तो हो गया था. Then quadratus plantae और flexor digitorum accessorius, इसका function क्या होता है? Just have a look at the direction of flexor digitorum longus. Its tendon is not in line with the lateral four toes. It is coming obliquely. Now to straighten its direction of pull on the toes, that is the action of this flexor digitorum accessorius. ये origin लेगा यहाँ से via a muscular head and via a tendinous head, and it inserts into the lateral aspect of tendon of flexor digitorum longus. So by contracting, it is going to straighten the otherwise oblique direction of pull of flexor digitorum longus. Right? Okay. And then we will come to the lateral plantar nerve, which we had seen that its main trunk was supplying which two muscles? Abductor digiti minimi and the flexor digitorum accessorius. Then the main trunk also gives cutaneous nerve supply to lateral aspect of skin of sole. Then it divides into a superficial branch and a deep branch. This one is the deep branch. Superficial branch gives what? One, it will give a branch to the medial aspect of the little toe, to the medial aspect of the sole, and it will give a common plantar cutaneous branch for the medial 1.5 toes. That is for the medial aspect of the fifth toe and for the lateral aspect of the fourth toe. Now, this branch and also superficial branch also gives branches to the interossei muscles of the fourth intermetatarsal space. There are five metatarsal bones. So there are in between these five bones, there are four intermetatarsal spaces. First between first and second bone, second space between second and third metatarsal, third space between third and fourth metatarsal, and fourth space between fourth and fifth metatarsal. In these intermetatarsal spaces, there are four dorsal interossei and three plantar interossei. We will discuss them in the class on Monday, but basically the interossei of the last or the lateral most intermetatarsal space, that is the fourth dorsal interosseous and the third plantar interosseous, they are also supplied by superficial branch of the lateral plantar nerve. Though these are the branches going into the interossei, but I have not yet cleaned the third and fourth layers, so we will see that later on. Right. So I think this much is sufficient for today. We will be covering the further layers in the next demo on Monday.